Sovereignty is the ability for a country to govern itself. Now, this is the reason why we left the EU, and this is also one of the reasons why our economy is now screwed up, because you can't go around the world and force people to make trade agreements with you when they've already made agreements with other countries themselves. So, for example, if you want a trade deal with Mexico or Canada or any other country, and they've already got agreements in place with their neighbours or with the EU, they can't break those trade agreements just to make another trade deal with the UK. So they can't break that, as it were, international law. This is something that the current government seems to really not understand very well. On a more broad aspect about sovereignty, it goes in a inverse relationship with isolation. So the more sovereignty you want, the less isolation you need, or you want as well. And so the UK at the moment is on a road to increasing its isolation. We've left the EU. Some members of the government want to leave the European Court of Human Rights. We want to step away from other international responsibilities as well. And this will increase our sovereignty, but it increases your isolation. Taking it from a personal point of view, if I'm currently married, have a family, member of various clubs, belong to a few banks and a few other organisations to do my shopping and internet accounts and all this type of stuff. And so that means I'm not very independent. But I have full sovereignty over my life, and I have these things around me in order to support my life, in order that I can run it. So I'm actually very sovereign over my own life. But if I wanted to increase my independence, and I decide to go single and leave everything behind, to close down on my social accounts, I'll be very, very independent, but I'll be very, very isolated. And with increased isolation, you have actually decreased sovereignty, and that is what the UK is doing at the moment. It is decreasing its sovereignty, its ability to govern itself. It's becoming harder and harder because we are increasing our isolation. And there's only one country in the world that has this is completely independent and can do what it wants, and that is North Korea. And so it's completely independent, it is highly isolated, but it can't really run itself. It has to rely so much on aid coming in from China, and effectively it is run by China. And so please don't associate independence with sovereignty, because they go in different directions, and with sovereignty comes with more international agreements and better working relations with your partners. And that means, yes, you may have less independence as a country, but you actually have increased sovereignty, because then you can run yourselves more effectively. Take care.